Alright, the last video of the day, night, whatever, most likely, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a guide of sorts, following the storyline, talking to Alice. We are just to the north of a little spot called Mitato in the medial circuit in Labyrinthos. Here we go. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Hydaelyn and Krile for the moment and see what they think of this. A-duh. I think a-duh. Where are they? I don't see them. Oh, how did I not see that? Where the... We're gonna cross this bridge so good. I like to praise you, or I want to praise. Don't you dare, Froggy. Don't do it. Good, good, Froggy. Big old toad. Speaking of toads, we got a big old toad trying to get us. But it did not tongue lasso us. Here's Y'shtola with Fourchenault and Alice, and I don't see Krile. Why not? Welcome back. I trust you found Erenvale then? Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Krile, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. By herself? Idiot. Perhaps not there you go. Perhaps not the best decision, in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Go check the flowers. I don't remember where they are though. There's a cargo box pile. I haven't even entered. There's the red circle. Okay. The cargo box pile somewhere along the road, I thought. This feels like entirely the wrong area, so am I supposed to go around? I don't recall. There's a wasp though, and I remember there being a wasp, I thought, near the cargo. Is it over here? Oh, looks like there's some lights up ahead. No, it's just a person. Another player. Teleporting out. Sorry, but I don't remember where the cargo boxes were located. But I do remember these Corgans. I think we went up here. No, we did it. We take the left. No, we went up, didn't we? Like right here. Hey, I remembered. I found it. Krile is, in fact, looking at the flowers. Cutscene. She's just staring at them, watching the rain fall gently on them and around them. She bends to pick one and does so. She starts casting a light spell on it, and it glows brighter than before. She turns and sees us.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting.
Oh, that's cute. Thank
she
you.
said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Oh. She.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Hydaelyn? Krile shuts her eyes, is concentrating. The camera zooms in on her face. You cutie. Her eyes are like really bright, like carbon blue.
Thank you.
Thank you, says Hydaelyn.
Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Menphilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you.
Krile's body is visited by Hydaelyn with a message for us.
Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction.
One of the glowing white flowers that entranced Krile is picked by her. She had horrible English, but whatever. She casts a light spell on it, and it is to be our guide.
In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
So we shove it in our bag. And then Krile falls to her knees, huffing.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away.
Don't fall away, leave me to myself.
My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Hydaelyn herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Well. We look to each other and go rushing off in that direction. Looks like their father, accompanied by two of those white robed
Master Fourchenault, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization.
Yeah?
We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Then we have a confrontation with Fourchenault.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Hydaelyn as scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What, then, is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha?
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
I mean, I can't blast him? Or shouldn't, I suppose.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse.
You don't know us.
But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
And we follow. And we are looking at the big old castle, kind of like dome shaped, but like castle parapets around the outside. There's a spiral set up to these seats for some reason, like the people of the Forum, I would assume. And then multiple levels, like three stories, 3 levels.
Forgive me. I was careless.
And we are all in the center of all of them, standing in a circle inside all the spirals.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
He nods. And smiles a
The
little bit.
Forum will come to order! This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fourchenault, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Hydaelyn assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
When you start resorting to name-calling like warmongers, you really don't have a case. We're just info gatherers.
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
This irritates Krile.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
That quiets her. It seems to quiet everyone? Or are they just quieted?
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Yeah, we know about it, son.
Whence came this revelation?
Grod doesn't.
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
For once, I don't have my stupid mask on. I like playing my red mage, but I need to get a new headpiece. Or transmog it or whatever, it's just annoying as hell.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policy-making process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
He takes a step toward one of the benches.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Oh, he starts to choke. Why? Is somebody casting a spell to choke him? Or does he have a spell?
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore.
Interesting. Some lingering magic?
Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fourchenault. I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty,
He closes his eyes.
I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me.
Sees in his mind Arenvald in his wheelchair.
So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the Studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates.
Aren't we leaving anyway?
Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
I can't really count how many there are. It doesn't look like many, though. I mean, the hands are still going up as we speak.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
Those aren't very large margins.
Students, Scions, You have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Cutscene goes dark. And we're out. We have an unexpected confrontation with Fourchenault and a lot of white-robed people. Whatever. I'm not going to be super whatever. Here goes. Y'shtola to end the quest. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedoms so carefully curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Sharlayan. A guide of sorts is complete. This video is complete. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time.